Working on auger today. That auger runs from a bend to the leg on one of the, it's a 7,500 bushel bend. So I'll show you what was going on here. So the flighting on the end was all curled up. So I thought I was going to have to replace the whole thing. I got a piece of flighting that can go from end to end, but I needed one that was 22 foot long. The piece I had was 18. We pulled it apart. There's a joint there. So what I did is just cut a piece off of it, and I'll cut that to fit and put it on the end so we don't have to replace the whole thing. The flighting, the rest of it's getting some wear, but it only gets 7,500 bushel a year pulled through it, so it'll last quite a while. Well, got our auger done. We were working on yesterday. See the new piece of flight, and put a different cage at the end of it. Got a shaft and bushing on the end. We replaced the bearing on the power head side, so it's ready to put back under the bend to go to the leg so we can haul out some more corn here after a bit. Got the 4440 power washed, all the grease and grime and whatever else off of it. Took the hood, suitcase weights and wheel weights and side screens, took them all to the paint shop this morning. So sometime this week we'll take this over there and set. I told him whenever you get to it, as long as I got it by April. So we'll get it over there so he can work it in, and said he worked the hood and stuff in and the smalls as he could, and then get the tractor going. So hopefully we'll have her back for spring. So we worked on the fertilizer cart a little bit this afternoon. Got new hydraulic hoses made. One of the ends where it went into the, screwed into that pump that was on there. It was rusty, I didn't trust it. I was gonna have to get extensions made anyway to go to the tractor. So hoses aren't that much. It's the fittings that cost as much as the hose, so I had to get fittings anyway. So time I'd have bought a bunch of fittings to make extensions, it wasn't that much different to get new hoses made. So I got to get fittings to go into the remotes, and then that'll be done. We got to change the plug on the lights because it's 7-pin flat RV style. Tractor's around. And then it had a deflector on the back for when they spread salt in parking lots with it, to kind of keep it from flying everywhere. We don't want that on there because we want to even spread with fertilizer. So got that off. So we're about ready to see what this critter will do. I got the 4840 in the shop. Air conditioner doesn't work, so got a new compressor, changed the compressor on it. And then I don't know how well it shows up. All that black soot, exhaust manifold gaskets are blowed, so got to tear everything apart and change manifold gaskets, put new ones on, and then got some O-rings to change up in the steering block. It's leaking, so a little work to do on that. Like I said, the sprayer's in here. We got the interior out, steering column's out. There's our box of parts to put in, some more stuff to put in, to put all John Deere steering and section control in it. I will have an Outback system for sale. I don't know what it's worth, but it'll be on Marketplace at some point. Well, I got it apart. All the black, that's exhaust soot. Got the air conditioner compressor off. Gonna change it, put new belts on it. Steering block has a leak. I think it's right there. Got O-ring, change that. Then put all this back together. So the manifolds on these are 2-piece. You can order the separate pieces from Deere, but I'll show you. See how thin that is. How thin that is right there. That's where it was leaking. This half here, this is a used manifold I got from Tractor Salvage Yard. You can see how much more meat's on there on this one compared to mine. So I'll clean this up and put new gaskets in it and get it on. This one's also cracked where the turbo mounts on, and have been welded. The crack, you can't really see because of the dark down in there, but that crack goes on down. So when I'm at it, it's never going to seal and be right if I don't change and put a different one on there. So do it right, got it apart. That's the old turbo gasket. You can see that crack in it. You can see the brakes in it. There's the worst one that it was leaking out of. You can see these are two piece, but they're one piece. They're laminated. They're actually supposed to be together and crushed together. And you can see where the soot had been blowing around them. So this is an auction find. This trailer frame, they said, had a dumpster on it. I don't know how it worked, but anyway, I am going to put our fuel tank on it and kind of upgrade our fuel trailer. So the light green bar I added last night because that's from the back cross member to there. That's the length of the skid and the tank. So it'll set across there. I'll put a toolbox up there and probably some boards down to make a floor on this front part with some short sides to put a bucket or something in, or bucket of oil or different things, and it'll have that to put stuff in if we need to. That was the battery box to run the pump to raise the dumpster or whatever was on it. So I may leave that and either use it as a toolbox or put a battery in it to run the pump on the fuel tank, because it has a battery mender in there to keep the battery charged. So another auction find. Well, fuel trailer's coming around. Got the tank mounted. Working on repainting the frame. Found a color that was pretty close to what it was, so it wasn't hard to cover. Front, welded tabs, and then just run bolts through the front. And then beat the weld on the back there. If we ever take it off, I just got to grind them off. Taped up the DOT tape. Gonna have to weld some tabs on and mount the toolbox on the front, but wanted to get all that painted before we did any of that. I think it'll work out pretty well. Got the 48 back together, manifolds on, new gaskets, put new belts on it while we had it off, put a new air conditioner compressor on it, had to put a new air dryer on it. We've got the high-low pressure limit switches that go up in the cab top, and button all that up. We'll get that done. We'll get it out of here, pressure wash it before we put the hood and sheet metal back on it. So I rearranged the shop a little bit and pulled the planer in. So got the gauge wheels off. I think I'm going to change gauge wheel arms. Adjusting bushings are getting loose. They got some wear where they hit the stopper, what they call the mustache. Needs new disc openers, got those. I'm going to put new boots on the fertilizer on the 2x2. They're, I don't know how well they'll show up, but they're getting wore and getting dirt pinched between them. So I think that's it, unless we find something else. So just go over it and see. Then the sprayer is over there now. Still have to finish it up, do some things to it, finish the steering, fix some lift cylinders on the booms, and we may be changing out all the wet boom system on it to stainless steel. So we'll see. Well, I'm ready to see if my marketplace purchase works. Got it full of urea and ammonium sulfate to spread on the wheat, top dress wheat. Put nitrogen on the wheat with urea, and then I got AMS, ammonium sulfate, for some sulfur. So it worked in the driveway with nothing in it, everything spread. So I guess we'll see what it'll be like when I get to the field. So I'm spreading a flat rate, and here's the chart. So I'm going to be running, 8-10 mile an hour. My total rate is 250 pounds, but I'm going to double spread urea. That means I'm going to spread half, and then I'm going to split my AB lines on my 60-foot paths, and I'm going to spread it again across the field twice, so it got a more even spread. So the density is 45, and I'm on 250 total. So if I go up right there, it's 124 pounds per acre on setting 2. So you just turn that wheel, and then there's a dial right there and a pin with numbers on it, and I got it set just a little under 2, like maybe 1.9. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. That adjusts the gate, because your web runs a constant speed since it's a flat rate machine, and then you adjust your rate by opening or closing down the gate. Well, got it going. This is the next morning from getting it loaded. I come out there yesterday and it was greasy, it thawed out, and the belt on the back that runs the spinners was slipping, so I had to go get a new belt and put on. A little crusty this morning. It's about 30 degrees, so getting at it. Got the sun coming up there on the other side of that little woods, so I don't know, I started a little after 7 this morning, I guess. So I'm going to double spread this. So I'm going across the first time at a half rate, and I will split my middle. So I will reset my auto steer line to go between, halfway between my tracks that I just gone through. That way I get a better coverage, since urea is a lighter density product. That way it doesn't fly as far. It'll be a more even pattern, even spread. So well, I don't know where we're at in this video. See what I got here after I edit it and put it together. So planter's coming along. Got new disc openers on it, new gauge wheel arms. Those are called Northmans. They have a bearing in them instead of the adjusting shim that you got to grease that works loose there. So I thought I'd try them. Got to put the gauge wheels on it. Replaced all the fertilizer boots. The discs were good. Got a few more things to do it, but outside of that, it's about wrapped up. Sprayer, all the Deere steering and section control is in it. It's wired. We think we figured out the third gear problem. Waiting on a receiver. Got to get a bracket for the other console to run dual monitors. And then, I don't know if we can, right there is all stainless boom sections and valves to replace all the plastic wet boom system. So that'll get done. 3020 coming along. Got to head back from the machine shop. We got pistons in, new rings, new rod bearings, waiting on a seal for the crankshaft to put the front cover on. We got to put the balancer in the bottom of the engine, then we can put the pan on it and get the engine buttoned up and sealed up so that that's done. So then we can concentrate on the cosmetics and start sanding and cleaning up for paint. So that's what's going on. So guys, I don't know where we're at in this video. I don't know how much stuff's on here till I edit it. But thanks for watching. Do all the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. See ya.